What's up everyone, welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy QTNA, and for today's video I have another question that needs answered to add to the series. Right now we are currently on part 4, so I'm very excited, very proud of me constantly going with this. But these questions are all just burning questions that I come up with in my mind, or like just throughout the day, shower thoughts and things like that. And I just write them down, and I save up to 10 of them, and I create another one of these videos. And it's been a minute since I made one of these, but we're here now. So let's get straight into it. Question 1. When is it too early to sample or reference? When I made this question, it was basically like inspired by, music and, art in general, and fashion and stuff like that, all forms of arts. And just wondering, like, when is it too early to see something you like and tap into it and be like, I really love this piece, I really love this art that has been created, and I've been so inspired by it that I want to reference it. And sometimes, like, it makes me think that there is kind of sort of a time limit when it comes to like it being too soon to reference something. I don't think it could ever be too late to reference something, because I think the later the better. And I'm pretty sure like society itself thinks the later the better. And that's why so many older things are referenced. But I also think that it would be cooler if people just started to go more into referencing the contemporary people and people that are creating alongside them and within their generation. I think it's a pride thing. I think it's an ego thing to not want to be inspired by, people who are considered on the same level as you, or within the same age or tax bracket, etc. as you. Yeah. And when I said that it could be a pride thing, I was also thinking about, how Jacquees did his remix to, I think the song's called Trippin' by LMA. But kind of sort of like when Jacquees did a cover of Trip by LMA, and his version started like going way much higher and viral than hers, which isn't really true, but it was gaining a lot of recognition. And they were trying to say it was outshining, but I don't believe it really was, because that song was literally everywhere. But his was starting to like do the same thing, because it's a viral song. Of course, someone who taps into something that's currently viral is going to get the analytics as well, especially if it's good. But that's what made her shut that down and be like, nope, he can no longer perform this, he can no longer share this or profit off of this, because this is mine and I want the attention that's coming from it all to myself. Question 2, I asked, why does no thank you sound rude? And honestly, to me, like, no matter your intentions, when you say no thank you, it still comes off as like rude, because like it's like you're saying no, which no is no, but it's mainly like the reaction that you get after saying like no thank you. Like, people really do feel offended by you saying like I don't want what you're trying to offer. No, like recently being like offered some food or something like that, I'm instantly gonna say no. If you offer me some food, I don't eat from everybody's hands and stuff like that. So offer food and you be like, no thank you, and you can literally see like the person like melting on the inside, or just reacting and being like, oh well, I was just trying to be nice. But no thank you, I don't want that, I don't need that. Question 3, Are Fortnite skins the new NFTs? And if you know anything about NFTs in the era of, I believe, 2021, 2022, when they were going crazy on especially Twitter about like selling NFTs and things like that. NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. And they're basically like digital assets, and it's very similar to like cryptocurrency and Digicoin and all of this type of investment thing. They're supposed to be like digital investments, and people will spend like hundreds of $1,000s on these like around 2021, 2022, but now you don't really see people talking about it or talking about like how they were actually profiting off that type of thing. And it's just so crazy because like I talked about them and I called them crazy, but then I turned around and got obsessed with Fortnite and collecting skins and stuff off of that, and being like literally obsessed, like trying to make sure that I get all the rare skins or I get all the icon skins that I actually like. But as I got deeper into like Fortnite, I started realizing that people would actually purchase like a lot of skins or the rare skins, not before even knowing that they are rare, and getting them and building up this really big inventory or archive, whatever you want to call it. And they would put these accounts up for sale because of the skins that they have and how rare they are. And based off like the types of skins that they have and how rare they are, the higher the account that they are selling will be. And I just find that like so crazy, but also smart. And like another pretty cool way to like invest in profit digitally. But yeah, I find it very similar to like NFTs in a way. But yeah. Question 4. A very, very, very burning question. As an adult, why do you have an iPad? And when I ask why do you have an iPad, I'm not talking to the people who have businesses, who do things like productive things on the iPad, personal life, for their personal life, or just their business, or just anything like that. I'm talking about the people who have an iPad just to have an iPad at their big age. Like, you don't feel foolish just sitting there with that big old iPad, just doing regular things that you could be doing on your phone. Like, to me, it's like somebody said in a video. I actually made a video about this already on TikTok, but they said you maybe just don't understand because you don't have an iPad. And I agree, but I do feel like y'all look real crazy just sitting there with that big old iPad doing regular things like scrolling on TikTok and scrolling on Instagram. Like, okay. Question 5. Is liking retro Jordan silhouettes above 14 a sign of maturity? And, I've really been into 16s and 18s lately. Like, I feel like those are really cool shoe silhouettes above 14. But growing up and studying shoe cards and stuff like that, it low-key, I feel like I remember it's actually stopping at 14. And I would see like the numbers higher up like later in life, and I felt like they were only for like athletic performance. They weren't for like casual wear or lifestyle wear. They were basically for like basketball or something like that. I didn't think that those were casual wear, lifestyle wear shoes as well. But there are pretty cool, especially like 14 and like I'm not 14. The packaging on some of them is like really cool as well. And I think they're there are really some dope ones out there. And yeah, it just depends on the colorway. But to me, the 16 to 18 silhouette is a pretty cool silhouette as compared to, 14 below, and 14 up. Out of the rest of them, I feel like 16 to 18s are definitely ones that I would see myself personally wearing. Question 6. How long are you allowed to grieve based upon society's standards? And I had this question because, recently, my uncle did pass away, and I had to work up until the day of his funeral because they only gave me one bereavement day, and that bereavement day was the day of his funeral. And the reason why they only gave me one day is because he wasn't an immediate family member. He wasn't a close family member, meaning that a close family member in their eyes and in the policy is that it has to be like a mother, a father, grandma, grandpa, or, a sibling. And I just found it like so strange. Even after like me letting them know that this has happened and I am going to need some time, the first question that was asked was, were y'all close? Not, not how are you or anything like that. The first question was, are y'all close? And it's just crazy to me. Luckily, I am a very high functioning person and I can deal with things like that and still, show up in ways that I'm supposed to and that I have to because, life goes on, as they obviously believe as well. But yeah, I just feel like society doesn't really like care about grief and how it's a never-ending process. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to get emotional, but there's definitely more I would like to say about that situation and just like grief in general. And maybe I'll just make a separate video about it, but right now I'm not ready to talk about it like I thought I would be. Question 7. How and why does every woman with a high-pitched baby voice have the same eyebrow density? And by this, I mean like every woman I know or that I've met, or at the time, like when I was a kid, girl that I've known, women and, girls with really thick eyebrows or just really dark eyebrows are always the ones with like high-pitched baby voices, the annoying voices. And most of the examples that I have, I can't even really like show y'all because they're people, personal people like in life, classmates, co-workers and things like that. I can't show y'all. Maybe they don't want to be shown. Most women with those voices, very annoying voices, have very thick eyebrows or just dense, dark, full eyebrows. Think about people that you know with this type of voice and look at their eyebrows. I'm telling you. Question 8. If your idea is being taken, is it really that creative or original? And I'm currently in the week 2 of the Artist Way, the creative recovery course, and I've been just basically like thinking about that, and that whole concept just like really dawned on me again, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. But it just makes me wonder, like, how creative are you truly if you have to rush and get things out? And now that I'm asking this question, I feel like I've asked this before on another question that need answers, but I still have this question because, you know, I haven't received an answer. But people rush to like do certain things and get certain ideas out because they don't want people to execute them before you or before them. And that always makes me wonder, and it rubs me the wrong way, and I don't like working with people who rush to beat other people at implementing an idea, because if the idea is original enough, in my opinion, you won't have to rush to do it before anyone else, because it's something that only you have downloaded through your personal experiences and your research and stuff like that. If you're trying to hurry up and do these videos to like a certain trend, a certain sound and stuff like that, like many of us used to do like in early TikTok stages, where we would have to make sure that we rush and get these video ideas out before someone else came up with them, or do this special like play on words with certain sounds and stuff like that, that many people heard in a different way, but the different way was the same way that many people heard. But yeah, on TikTok. But yeah, sum all that up, I just feel like rushing to execute an idea is so not creative, and it's in a way lazy creating. If you feel like you have to rush to put something out before anybody else get to it before you, I feel like you should just go back to the drawing board and be like, in what ways can I make this idea more unique and constructed just for me and through my own experience? Because a lot of the things that we create is not new and it hasn't been done before. The thing that makes it innovative is the fact that we apply like our personal experience and research on it. And yeah. Question 9. Must you be tapped into the full lore of an artist to completely and fully understand them and their career trajectory and their craft? So I'm more tapped into female rap and the lore of their artistry because, you know, I find them more interesting than male rappers for the most part. Like around 2018, 2019 is when on YouTube you start seeing like more men start getting into Nicki Minaj or female rap in general, but mainly Nicki Minaj, because they start to realize that reacting to Nicki Minaj brings numbers. And many of these YouTubers were starting to react to Nicki Minaj who have never given her a chance before, realizing that they could get money and views off of, you know, barbs in their support for Nicki Minaj and loving and embracing on anybody who recognizes her. So once they start doing those reviews and watching her videos and documentaries and stuff like that, listening to her music, they started to find out, wait, she's actually a great artist while listening to her music. And then they start watching the documentaries and understanding, like, in interviews and understanding, like, why she is the way she is and the things that she experienced. And they start, you know, like, gain a better understanding of her and start to see, like, well, I would act this way too if I went through this and if I lived like this or been through these things. Or she's not just this mean or be whatever you want to call it. and stuff like that. She's not this diva for no reason or she feels entitled, but she has really put in the work. And I feel like if they didn't really like tap into the lore, they would have never understood like her artistry and the way that she's approaches her craft. And in a way, and in a sense, I feel like it's that way for every artist, like in totality. Um, you would never like understand their music. You would never understand them if you don't tap into their lore. And honestly, I'm not as prone to do that for any and every artist. Like something has to stand out, or you have to create something really, really dope that I'm obsessed with for me to tap into your lore. If I didn't passively um receive the information upon your lore or just see you as such an interesting person as I did Nicki Minaj growing up, um, to the point where that made me spend hours and years of researching and watching interviews over and over, clips and reading articles and stuff like that. I don't think I would, you know, do that for you unless you are that interesting and talented. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Question 10. Where is everyone finding Full Moon by Brandy on vinyl? So, if you don't know, I really do love Brandy. And I feel like she really truly is like a vocal beast. Her riffs, her runs, and like finding out about Brandy, because I didn't grow up listening to Brandy. My mom didn't grow up playing Brandy. But I found out about her not too long after studying music theory, a course on music theory. And that course has definitely like shifted the way that I listen to music in totality. And I listen for like background vocals more than I do the lead vocals most of the times. And the way that Brandy layers and stacks her vocals and also does like background vocals and things like that is very interesting and entertaining. Like it keeps you engaged. And you know, I have a few Brandy things. When right now we're just gonna focus on Full Moon. I have the CD and I have the cassette tape. But I am missing the vinyl. I really would like to have the vinyl because I feel like that would really piece together my whole, like, basically like that would be my last Infinity Stone. Just having the vinyl. But everywhere I look, like, it's on eBay, almost $300. But I go on Twitter and I'm seeing people find it at record shops for about $50 or less than 100, period. And I'm just like, what's going on? And it's happening like a lot more frequently. And I'm just like, are these the real deal or are these remakes or what's going on? But yeah, I do have a single. I bought the What About Us single vinyl from eBay, and I'm very excited for that to come. So that will piece up, you know, my collection until I get my hands on the actual Full Moon vinyl. Yeah. But that's really all the questions that I have for this video. You know, on these videos, I just like to yap. I like to ramble and get my questions out. And I just want you guys to like give me your feedback or, you know, answer the questions if you can in the comments and stuff like that. And yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for 1,000 subs. I promise I have more things coming. I've been using January to batch create content, but you know, everything is just gonna start rolling eventually before January even ends. Everything's gonna start rolling. You know, I'm balancing work and I'm balancing content creating as well, and also grieving the death of TikTok at this point. But you know, we're gonna keep moving, we're gonna keep growing, and I'm not gonna stop being consistent on YouTube because I really do love this app a lot more than I do all the others. But yeah, thank you all for watching. It's your boy Komaris, and peace.